Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my retro review for Invisible Agent, which came out in 1942 as the fourth film in Universal's Invisible film series. The movie follows Frank Griffin Jr., played by Jon Hall. He is the grandson of Frank Griffin Sr., who is said to be the original Invisible Man according to the film, which is not true because Frank Griffin was the brother of Jack Griffin in The Invisible Man Returns. And if you remember in that movie, they called Jack Griffin John Griffin, and there's no way he could possibly be the grandson because the original Invisible Man came out in 1933, they had cars, and this is now World War II. If you try to make sense out of the continuity with this movie, your brain's going to fry. And that goes for a lot of Universal monster films. It's just best to not think about continuity because clearly they didn't. And that's not an insult to the filmmakers. That was just the mentality of the time. But anyway, getting back to this movie here, Frank Griffin Jr. is approached by the US government to use the invisibility drug on some soldiers to try and go sneak behind enemy lines to grab important documents. Frank Griffin Jr. is against this from the start, but only agrees to allow the government to use this drug if he's the one that goes behind enemy lines. So the government agrees, Frank Griffin Jr. takes the invisibility drug, goes behind enemy lines into Nazi Germany to steal some important documents, meet some secret agents along the way who are working for the United States, while also embarrassing some Nazis at the same time. It's safe to say that this series of films within Universal's classic monster run is probably the most unique because The Invisible Man from 1933 was based off the H.G. Wells book. The sequel, Invisible Man Returns, followed a completely different Invisible Man. The Invisible Woman was a complete standalone, has nothing to do with the other two movies, and doesn't even credit H.G. Wells for like the source material that inspired the movie. And now with Invisible Agent, we get a full-on World War II spy film. This might actually be my second favorite of the Universal monster sequels because it's such a out there idea compared to the other movies. Unlike the Karis Mummy sequels, it's not recycling the same thing that we've seen over and over again. If there's any recycling within this movie, it's how they do the special effects. But even then, this movie comes up with new ways to show off the invisibility of the Invisible Man. For example, rather than having him just wrapped up in bandages and wearing sunglasses like we've seen in the first two movies, and the one that would follow, this Invisible Man basically is wearing makeup when we have to actually see him. And I think it looks creepy when he doesn't wear sunglasses and just has that full-on makeup, but it's creative, it's something different, and I appreciate this movie for doing that. Jon Hall makes for a really good Invisible Man. He is very suave, he's charismatic, and he also has his humorous moments. The biggest scene of comedy in this movie is when he's invisible in the house of one of his contacts, a woman played by Ilona Massey, and her character is just about to have dinner with this Nazi general, and the Invisible Man is basically doing everything to troll this Nazi and make him look like a flat-out fool, which, given that he's a Nazi, I 100% endorse. Both Jon Hall and Ilona Massey have good chemistry with each other. There's only two scenes, though, where we actually get to see the actors interact with one another. The first is when the Invisible Man decides to wear clothes and put makeup all over him just so she can see his face, and then it's at the end when he finally becomes visible again. These two work well together, and Ilona Massey is actually really good in the movie, which is ironic because in an interview, she said that she did not like this movie and doesn't even remember filming it. So that's kind of bizarre, but we'll see this actress again later on when we get to Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Cedric Hardwicke is in this movie as a Gestapo, and Peter Lorre is in this movie as a Baron. Both of them do a really good job and make for effective villains because Cedric Hardwicke is very cunning and smart as a Nazi. Nothing really gets by him, and there's a good confrontation between him and Frank Griffin Jr. as Frank is trying to sneak out with secret documents. And it's where Gustavo basically corners him, forces the Invisible Man to sit in a chair and keep rocking, so he knows that he's there. And Peter Lorre makes for a really creepy character. He's very much the Gestapo agent from Raiders of the Lost Ark, that slimy, kind of funny-looking character that's on the sidelines, but he's still memorable. Honestly, the worst thing I can say about this movie is that while it's a lot of fun, it's not as iconic as the original Invisible Man. But you know what? Those two are completely different movies, and I think it's only fair to judge Invisible Agent on its own terms. And on its own terms, I say it's worth seeing in your lifetime. It moves at a great pace, it's not too short, but it also doesn't overstay its welcome. The actors are really good, and in the times that we're in right now, we need a movie that really makes the Nazis just flat out incompetent and foolish. So The Invisible Agent is a lot of fun. And there you go, that's my review for Invisible Agent. I hope you enjoyed it. Now next time we're gonna get back to basics with this series with The Invisible Man's Revenge. And much like The Invisible Man Returns, this is kind of a bizarre title considering the circumstances of this movie, but we'll get to that next time. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow every day, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Invisible Agent. If you've seen it, whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.